What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is time to go back and re-rank all of the prestige cars, the prestige ticket cars. These are Summit exclusive cars that are now available in the prestige shop, and every single season we get new ones added. So I'm gonna go back and rank them. I've already ranked seasons 1 through 7, but we just had our season 8 stuff added. You can see the 4 cars at the top of the screen here. So let's see where these cars stack up, and then there's a couple of cars I need to re-rank. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's go. All right, so first let's take a look at the rankings from the previous video. These are the tiers. These are all of the cars seasons 1 through 7. So there's 2 cars that I need to revisit and put them in better rankings. And so in this video, we're going to test those and just kind of give you a better idea of where they are. And the first one is in C tier. It's the Tusk Edition Dodge Charger. I think that one's a little bit better than C tier. I think it's going to end up in either A or B, but I want to retest it and figure that out. And finally, the one that I really made a mistake on, which is the Nissan in F tier. This thing is actually decent. I think it can be used in either C or B, but we'll find out. So I need to retest those. So we're going to do that first, and then we'll get into the new cars. All right, here we go. We're on the test course, Kyusha Spirit. And this one, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I definitely messed this up. I don't believe it belongs in F tier. It's got a little bit of a slow start, though. Let's see how it does with the NOS power. Okay. Pretty good NOS power. I would say average acceleration. Not too bad there. It stuck the corner pretty well. All right, across the grass. Decent speed going through this section. Okay, decent handling. NOS power feels pretty good. And let's see if we can get it above 2. Yep, this actually feels pretty good. Yeah, I don't know why I put this in F tier, man. The car feels great. It feels great. I gotta slow down for this corner. Gotta make it. Don't drift. Okay, let's see if we can get the gutter here. Oh, I went in too early. That's gonna cost me a little bit of time, but that's okay. We're still in it. Got the air and the NOS. Let's go. Okay, guttering is fine. It's very controllable. The back end doesn't slip out in the gutter. It doesn't get unstable too much. Very controllable. It's really not bad at all. It's running a very decent time. Certainly not an F tier time. Very, very viable, actually. We're gonna get there a little over, probably in the 15 range. Let's see. 14.4. That's damn good. 14.4 is good. Let me check this against my other cars. Yeah, 14.4 puts it somewhere in the middle, like nowhere near the bottom, which is what F tier would be. It is definitely in the middle. I'm gonna have to move this up. This car definitely is usable. I don't know how viable it's gonna be. Are you gonna be able to compete with, you know, the meta cars? Probably not, but the car is definitely usable. I'm moving this up right now based on that test course. I'm moving this up to C tier. All right, next let's take a look at the Dodge Charger Tusk Edition. Now this one it should be better than what I ranked it at. A lot of people in the community say that it is. It's not my favorite car to drive. I just think it's a little too heavy, a little too slidey, a little too loose for my driving style. So let's see what happens. Let me go out and test it. Let's see if it deserves to be moved up at all. All right, here we go. Let's see the start. Very loose. It's okay. The Nissan started that way too, but it looks like this one's got some acceleration to it. It's like driving a big boat, man. Such a cool car though. Beautiful. All right, this one's got way more acceleration than the Nissan. There's that slide I'm talking about. You try to turn the car into the gutter and it just slides, man. It just feels terrible. It's just heavy. It does not like you know, quick steering movements. It wants to slide. But damn, is it fast though. It has brilliant acceleration. Let's see if I can be smooth with it for the rest of this race. All right, easy boy, easy. Slow it down. There it is. Look. There's the drift. I just hate driving this car. I don't know how to drive it is the problem. And it could be a me. I'm willing to admit it's probably a me problem. I just don't know how to drive the car. But it takes a little bit of throttle control maybe. Oh my God, dude. Wow. All right, let's try again. Come on, make it over the bumps. Ah, it's so hard to control in that section, bro. Oh my God, I'm fucking up, dude. Oh my God, we made it through the section. Now can we make it through this section without dying? Barely. It was still tough. The car is just like this wild horse, and it's just, you gotta tame it, I guess. It gutters well as long as you're not too like herky jerky with the steering movements. It does well. Where are we at? We're at a 14.3, almost identical with the Z. I think the Z is more enjoyable to drive than this. This is much more wild. It's much more difficult to control. And so for that reason, personally, I don't want to move this up. Now, is it faster? Is someone with better skill more capable of, making this thing go faster? For sure. But that's the reason why I'm not going to move it up. I'm going to leave it the way it is because I think it's pretty equal with that Z. I mean, the Z is probably like has less pace in it, right? But the amount of people I think that can actually drive this car at a high level is it's just not as many. And I'm not an unskilled racer. I'm not a terrible racer, but it would take me so long to actually get used to this car, and I just hate driving it. It just feels way too loose, and it's not loose in a good way. Like, if you remember, the Agera R was very loose, but it was in a good way. The car is insane to drive once you tame it. This car is probably similar, but not the same thing. Like, it just feels bad. I don't like driving it. And this is my tier list, so I'm putting it right where it is in C tier. We're gonna leave it there, and we're gonna move the Nissan up to C tier. So let's move on to the new cars. Let's take a look. All right, the first one on the chopping block is the BMW M4 CSL. This car is really good. It's currently ranked number 12 on my list. It's got a 211.7 on Kyusha Spirit and a 315 on Groundworks. Those are both incredible times. The car is insanely fast. It handles very, very well. It's got a top speed of 246 with slipstream and 252 in slipstream with NOS. So it goes very fast. It's not the highest in the class. That would be the Hurricane at 248, but it's close. 246 is great. This is something you can definitely use on the highway sections. You might, if you have a couple of Hurricanes, you might lose out, but in most scenarios, you'd be okay with this one on the highways. It is just an incredible car. It's very good. It feels a little bit heavy, and I think it takes a little bit of skill to drive it through the gutters, but for the most part, you can keep up a pretty good pace with this one. It's got good acceleration, but not great acceleration, and I think that's the one spot where it's a little bit weak, but it does have good NOS power, so it's one of those cars that is certainly viable in the grand races. In looking at my tier list from this last season, I have to pick some cars that I would put this around, and this one certainly goes into the S tier. It is, my opinion, on par with the RX-7, if not a little bit better than the RX-7 in Street 2. It's definitely not going to be the very top of the meta. That's going to be reserved for the A110, and I think the M3 CS is probably a little bit better as well all around. So M4 CSL S tier. All right, moving on to the AMG 1 Motorsport Styling Package Star Pattern Edition. I don't know. It's pretty good. It's ranked currently at 24th. It runs a 118 on Achieving Immortality and a 216 on Legendary. Now, if you want to compare that with the rest of the cars in the class, that's basically on par with some of the best cars. Hypercar is pretty stacked at the top of the hypercar category. And this one in particular is very useful on a specific couple of routes when it comes to like hypercar starts that are really, really chaotic, or starts that are, you know, offer some shortcuts or some things where like congestion is just unavoidable. This car actually accelerates really well. It helps you get out in front of the pack, and it handles well enough to where as long as you're not really stressing it on the lateral G's, meaning like super high speed turns, I think you can do okay in most scenarios with this car. So let me bring this back in. As far as ranking this among the cars that we have here, if I'm looking for any hypercars, there's not a whole lot in here. The highest ranked hypercar, what do I have, is the M600 Lunar Year Edition. I think the Lunar Year Edition is probably a little bit better in pace, but not by much. This car is going to go in the A tier class. I know that it's meta on certain courses, but they don't come up as often. I don't really see a lot of people using this car. And personally, it's not my favorite car to drive, so I can't really put it in S tier. It just definitely doesn't deserve to be there. I think A tier is where it belongs. All right, moving on to the Jeep. This one is ranked number 9 right now in the Rally Raid category. It runs a test time of 148.1. It's really not a bad time. And the car feels okay. It's very good for like downhill speed, like, you know, hill bombing, that type of thing. It reminds me a lot of the way the Tacoma feels. It doesn't have the top speed of the Tacoma. It's off by about 1 mile per hour. So although you could probably use it in those scenarios, it's going to control slightly differently than the Tacoma. And so I don't really think this is a good car to use overall. I think it's fine. It works in a very limited number of scenarios, and I still think the Tacoma is a little bit better. So certainly not meta, certainly not bad. It's obviously in the top 10 in terms of test times, so we do have to rank it pretty high, but it's not a car in Raid that I would really like go after and try to start using a lot. So with that said, let's bring in the tier list again so you guys can see. And where are we going to put this? I think this deserves to be in an A class situation. We're going to put it in A. I think it's good. I don't think it's terrible, but I also don't think it's very viable in the grand races. In vast majority of scenarios, it's not going to be super viable. So I can't really put it in the S tier. It goes in A. All right, lastly, let's talk about the Street Rider Edition M3. This one was introduced as a Street Tier 2 vehicle at the end of Season 8. It runs very good times. It's a 211.9 on Kyusha Spirit. As you just watched, I ran like a 214 with some other cars, so it's very good. It runs a 316 on Groundworks, putting it in the 20th position. So it is a top 20 car. The car feels pretty good in terms of handling. Its acceleration could be better. It feels, I don't know. It feels like it's just another like sort of average car, even though it's an above average ranking. So in the grand races, you can definitely do good with it. You can definitely do fine. You can win races with it. It's fine. It's just not one of those cars that's going to really compete with the meta. Like if you get into a situation where you're driving against someone who's at the same skill level as you, and they're in the meta car and you're in this, they're most likely going to just walk you. And it's not a guarantee. Obviously, anyone can make mistakes, but I feel like this one for sure is not quite there. Now, on the flip side, it is a top 20 car, so we can't really rank it that low. So I'm going to put it in the A tier category. I think it compares to a lot of the cars here. The Black Panther R34, the Kamehameha Edition S2000, both of those cars, I would say it's basically on par with those. Both of those have their own issues with the, you know, understeer or acceleration, and so does this one. So we've got a little bit of a heavy A and B tier stack in this, and that's okay. I expected that, so we're gonna have to adjust the graphic for the next time we do this video. But let me show you the full picture so we can summarize all this. There are 6 cars that we ranked today. The first one being that Forsberg Z. I had it misranked in F tier. It deserves to move up. The Tusk, I'm leaving exactly where it is now. And then we've got the M4 CSL, the AMG 1, the Jeep Gladiator, and the M3. All of those re-ranked here on the sheet. So anyway, just screenshot this for your future reference. You know what to spend your prestige tickets on. Anything that's A class and above, I'd say it's a must buy. It's just nice to add to your collection, have other cars to use in the grand races. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.